Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm just going to do my September wrap-up part 2. Technically, I guess it was part 3. Maybe I should just call it part 3. Because I did do a mid-month kind of wrap-up of iSat Rat or iSuck Readathon's Readathon after I did a mid-month one. So I'm really going to just talk about the couple of books that I didn't mention in those or hadn't completed by them. So I do want to say that I did read 2,957 pages, so bad. 2,957 pages for the month. So this does not include any, what do you want to call it? Graphic novels, and it doesn't count rereads. Like I didn't count those words. But anything new that I had not read that was novel or short story or novella or anything, those all counted. So it came up to that. So that came up to 98.6 pages a day, which is pretty good for me. Again, that's about average for the last couple of months, which is really high for me. As I said, I'm normally around, I try to hit about 50 pages a day, but it doesn't always work out some months. So I've had a lot of good reading months all in a row, so I'm kind of worried about that as I start this month. But it was, I did have a good reading month. So I'm just gonna briefly go through again the ones that I haven't talked about, just because it's pretty much, this is a Sci Fi September wrap up as well. So this was started by Becky Bookworm, and she had a couple of challenges. So I didn't really do all the challenges now that I think about it. I just started reading sci-fi books. I stopped really caring about if they went to a challenge. So I guess I didn't think of it that way. So I just read a lot of some really good stuff and some really bad stuff for me. It just didn't work out. So so first I'm just gonna bring forth that I have read most of Anne Leckie's trilogy, Ancillary Justice, Ancillary Sword, and then I'm halfway through Ancillary Mercy. So this is the Imperial Rat trilogy. I have really enjoyed it. The first book was a reread. I have mentioned that before, but I wanted to reread it before I continued on. So I actually got these all in audio CDs from my library, so I'm listening to them all. So that was really nice to have this in my car. So I listened to Ancillary Justice, and then I listened to Ancillary Sword, and then right now I'm in the middle of Ancillary Mercy. So I got 2 done out of, and then half of this one. So that was pretty good for audiobooks in my car. Then I read a couple off my Kindle, and one of them was Martha Wells' All Systems Red. This is a short novel. It's not very long, and I think it's one of those tour ones where there ones that there are going to be parts of them at different I think there's another one coming out in May. It's the Murderbot Diaries, and so it has the robot telling its story and how there's something wrong with its programming, or not its programming, but its governor switch, so that that it has control over what it decides to do and what it doesn't have. It can make decisions, and it's pretty much an AI that knows what it's just making its own decisions. I really enjoyed this. It was again, it was kind of like a little adventure, because this robot is being rented to this group that are mining in a certain area, and another group on the same world goes quiet on the radios, and they go to investigate, and that's when everything kind of happens. And so it was really good. It was really, as I said, it was really short and quick. It didn't take me long to read it, and I really wish another one was out of it, because it was really fun, and I would read more of this. So so I definitely gave it a 4. It was really fun. I really enjoyed that. Another, let's see here, hold on. The other one I read on my Kindle was 6 Wakes by Mur Lafferty. I did mention this in my iSat Rat wrap up, because I was in the middle of reading this, and I finished it, I think, right afterwards, or else I just finished, now I can't remember. So, but anyway, I'm just going to say that I really, really enjoyed this one, and because it was a novel, kind of like a closed room mystery but in space, with people who are clones, so that when they die, they come back, and they're in like a 20-year-old body, even if they've died of natural causes or been killed, they come back because they have their brain waves kind of on record. So the crew is of 6 people who are on a ship going to a new planet. They all have criminal or bad, past that they are hiding from everybody else, and they wake up after 24 years being in space. They all wake up and found that they're all dead. So their clones have been awakened or whatever. My brain. Anyway, the point is it was really good. Again, it was like a murder mystery in space, and I never knew where it was going to go. I think it was just really fun, and I really enjoyed this. So I would totally read something else by her. I really enjoyed that. Let's see here. So I also read, let's see here. I keep thinking. So I did those. I read that. Okay, so then, and then I had my 2 DNFs. So I did talk about this before. The Sparrow by Mary Dora Russell. This was my TBR jar pick back in July. I hadn't picked it up yet. I was kind of on the fence about even trying it. But with Sci Fi September, this is a book about a group from from Earth going to another planet. And so I did want to read this after I kind of got into it. I liked the beginning. I mean, it really pulled me in. But I got about 170 pages into it and it just died for me. It was just, I was tired and I just did not want to go on. And I still don't. I don't care anymore. And that's just my opinion. There's something about I don't know if it's the writing. Again, it goes between the past and the present, kind of, like the story goes, here's the present and how the bad things is one survivor, and there's all these things going out about what he did or what happened, but we don't know for sure because because everybody else is dead that went with him, and then the people who found him and sent him home, now they're not communicating back to Earth, so we don't know what's really going on, and he's been traumatized, and it's just like, I get it, but it got to the point where I was just tired. And I got to the point where I just didn't care. I didn't like how some of the responses were, and I guess I didn't like some of the narrator intrusions. So, but that was just my opinion. I'm sure, I mean, a lot of people love that book, and it wasn't one I was really attracted to, but again, it was a TBR jar pick as well as a sci-fi book, so I thought I'd better pick it up and try it. So I did, and it's going bye-bye. I'm not going to go back to it. I just can't do it. And then another DNF. And this one I, paid quite a bit of money for, or to me it was. I bought it for some reason. I bought it, Luna New Moon by Ian McDonald. And I really wanted to like this too, because this was the pick for being about people on the moon and stuff, was one of the challenges. And I do remember that one. But I just did not like this. Like, I wanted to like the characters, but they were... Like, I get that you're going to have unlikable characters, and I understand that. But I also have to be intrigued on what they're doing and why they're doing things. And I just got to the point where I just didn't care. I actually got to, let's see here. So I think I put a sticky note here just to prove. So I got to 160, and I was like, okay, I don't think I want to go on anymore. But I said, okay, well, let's just skim a little bit, because there are some characters that I liked, and I wanted to go on. And well, I got to 202 and just went, I'm done. That was it. There was a scene that I went, okay, I'm done. Now, again, it's about like gangsters kind of in space. They're these families that they're called the Five Dragons, and they are like empires of business in that world on the moon now. And so they all got there when people started going there to make their fortunes, and they're the older generation, and then their families that have grown up are second generations, and then their kids are third. And so they're all have different perceptions of life on the moon and what everybody and what their business, they all have their own way of how they want things to go. And I wanted to like this, and I I just didn't. And I feel bad, but somebody else is going to get this really nice copy because I'm going to get rid of that. So anyway, so that was all the ones I did for Sci-Fi September. So I didn't do great. As I said, I listened to 2 on audio, and I got partway through a 3rd one. I DNF'd 2 books, but I read 2 other ones. So it could have been better. I kind of wish it was. So anyway, so I'm just going to really quick, 3 more books that I read this month. That weren't part of Sci-Fi September. So I also read, I did mention this, I guess, Witches of Lichford by Paul Cornell. I did read this in my ISAT Rat. I forgot. I did talk about this. So I did enjoy this. This is really a fun story about a little town trying to be taken over by the big grocery store that wants to come in. And of course, there's like actually some kind of otherworldly people who are want to break the barrier between the real world and the unreality or whatever. So anyway, I really enjoyed that. I forgot I did talk about that before. Oh well, extra bonus. And then I picked up one of my favorite mystery writers, Bill Kreider. This is Between the Living and the Dead, and this is, I think I said book 22. I think it's 22. So again, this is a small county in Texas, the sheriff and his deputies and the townspeople who live there, and it's just funny. And these are cute little mysteries, they're little cozies, you know. He's just funny. I just laugh all the way through these books, and of course then if you read them in order, you get all the jokes of what other things have happened in the past. And so again, I recommend reading them all, but that's just because I love them. And as I said, this was like my one of my 5-star reads this month. And then the other one is Nalini Singh's Archangel's Viper. And this is book 10 in the Guild Hunter series. I love this series. This is the series I picked up first by her just a couple of years ago, and I binged them all and then went on to her other series, and I love her other series as well. I just love this book. Anyway, so this is like a world with vampires and angels and archangels, and this was just fantastic is all I can say. I'm so glad. I mean, I read them too fast though. That's the problem, is I got this on just like a week ago, and I read it within a couple of days. I just devour these, and they're ones I actually go back and reread. Like I'll read several books in this series because they just build on each other. Because again, they are paranormal romances, but I feel the world is so rich that if you are kind of into the urban fantasy, but don't mind some romance and some, happily ever after stuff, but with a lot of danger that will still continue to happen, these are the books for you. I just love these. And again, it was a 5-star read for me because they're just fun. I mean, they make me happy. I don't know why. I love these ones, and they're great. So, anyway, that was my part 2-ish, 3 of my September wrap up. Hey, did you guys read anything good this month? I had a couple of duds. I'm a little upset about that, but you can't always have everything. I had a couple really good books. I had a lot of 4s, actually. A lot of my books are classified in that, and I'm actually really happy with that. So overall, I think I had a fun time with Sci-Fi September. Maybe not the best turnout for everything, but I did. I think I read both books that I DNF'd. I actually read 40 to 42%. I can't remember which is which I did the 40 and which the 42 before I DNF'd. So I gave them a good shot. And so that's the best I can say. I don't always give them that much of a chance, but I gave those a shot. So anyway, that is all I'm going to talk about here, because if I went through my currently readings, this video would go on forever and ever. So I will do that in another one. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye.